I hate using the phrase like believe in yourself, you know, but I realized that I never really did. I think for most of my life, I really didn't believe myself. I always had one foot out of every single thing that I was doing because I thought that was because I had trouble with commitment, which I did. But I think the reason I had trouble with commitment was about fear of failure. And so the big thing that this band is representing to me, I mean, that's why I've got it. It says my favorite band on my shirt. And the reason I'm wearing it is because it genuinely is my favorite band. And not just because I'm in it, but because of what it actually means to me. Believing in yourself and pretending to believe in yourself are the same thing, as long as there's actual action. As long as you act in that way, you will eventually have enough evidence to actually believe in yourself. But if you sit there and think about stuff and don't act and constantly second guess it and have sour grapes where you look at the success of others and you convince yourself it's not something you want, you're not going to end up anywhere new with that. Life will change because change is just a constant. You can bet that it's going to change, but it's not going to change for the better, put it that way. I just was so afraid of ending up bitter. I was so terrified of that, more than that became my biggest fear, more than that I wouldn't be successful. I thought, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want music taken away from me because it's like a privilege to make music. It's like the best gift. I feel so fucking lucky that I have it. So Calan Mai means that to me, I guess. This is a new one that we all wrote together. It's called Heartbreak Radio, and I wrote it about, I guess, the really good feeling you get when you write a song while you're feeling like shit, and writing a good song makes you feel better. And how that can be addictive, and so you purposely make yourself feel like shit so you can write good songs. And the result is me and my life. The song is called Heartbreak Radio. My name's Jordi, and I make music under the name Calan Mai. So tonight we're playing at the Bearded Lady in West End in Brisbane for I guess we're calling it like our Brisbane album launch show. So I'm from the Gold Coast, but Calan Mai is now based on the Sunshine Coast. Japan, I guess Japan is on the cards one day, just along with the rest of the world. We're planning for world domination.
I wasn't ready. Forgot to change my shirt.
I used to be under American management, and so the woman who was managing me, she was kind of managing me from afar with the intention of having me eventually move to America. But eventually she was like, look, we just need to, I guess, take like a big kind of Hail Mary like swing. Let's do something real. I'm going to front the money for you to record an album with Brian Deck, he'd worked on Iron and Wine and Counting Crows and Modest Mouse and a lot of these people that I just grew up idolizing. Yeah, I went over to Chicago and I recorded the album with him over the course of about 2.5 weeks. I arrived without a guitar because I assumed that there would be guitars there, and he was like, why do you not have a guitar? So I think he was a little bit confused by me. He was a bit confused why I was recording with him being such a small-time artist. After that, I had this beautiful album that I loved, but I was very kind of obsessed with the idea that it needed to be heard by everyone. And so over time, I just obsessively sat on it, and I sat on it for longer and longer. I was also going to move to America right after. I recorded that in 2019. 2020, I was planning to move to Chicago, and then COVID happened. And I just kept thinking, well, I'll release it soon. It's just not the right time. And then cut to 6 years later, and we're finally releasing it. And at the start of last year, I put a band together, and I said, I have this album, so let's learn how to play these songs, but let's play them in a way that, makes sense for us, not the way that this producer had set the songs up. So that's kind of what we're doing now. Well, I fell in love with the city of Chicago. I very much did, and I really wanted to. I just had my sights set on that being the place that I was going to live. But I think that's because back on the Gold Coast where I was living, I was just working in an office. My whole life was just on hold for this dream to come true. So I wasn't doing music back home, aside from playing music alone in my room. What do you prefer, like the music scene in Chicago or what's happening now here? I'd say this, because it's real. Like, we've actually built something, and it might be small and we might not be on many people's radar, but for me, it is just so special to be involved in something that's actually real and to see things actually happening, as opposed to my entire career just taking place in my head, which it did for a very long time.
This song's got a great grandma.
I heard about Jordi's music through our friend Dicko, who is our manager. Listened to the music and I said, right, I'm Jordi's drummer. I'm going to drum for this band because it's amazing. Connor can have my vape. And I said, I'm in Calan Mai. That's what I said.
So I met Jordi at, what was it called? The Sunshine Coast Music Club had a showcase night. And I went to see a band called Wife Cult, which are my favourite. But Jordi was on support. And I was just blown away by his song Henrietta Lacks. A booker in Brisbane called me up and he goes, hey, and he starts explaining this guy to me, telling me his story, and I was like, I'll stop you right there. I know exactly who you're talking about. Absolutely, give me his number, I'm in. And then so yeah, I got linked up with Jordi, and I did one rehearsal. It was me, Jordi and Dylan, and it's been that way ever since. So it went really well, and we put a lot of work into turning his solo folk songs into full band folk rock indie awesomeness.
Oh, you're ruining the take. So I met Jordi back at the music showcase through Music Club, and since then, since Josiah joined, I've kind of been seeing them around a lot. I come to all their shows at the start of 2024 and really enjoyed their music. And since Josiah and I play together a lot, I've heard a lot of their music, and so it was at the second half of last year that Jordi asked me to play Henrietta Lacks with them, just one song at the Soulfire show, and that was really awesome. I loved that, and after that show he asked me to be in the band, and since then it's been pretty awesome. Started off playing keys and vocals.
It's been such a great thing having it's been great having every single member for each of their different reasons, but Chloe kind of completed it in my opinion.
Calan Mai to me is really this. It's just playing music wherever you can with your friends, and it's not taking yourself seriously, being a little bit self-deprecating, but also bringing songs that are relatable and you can dance to. You can dance to this stuff, you can cry to this stuff.
To make it even more meaningful, Jordi means a lot to me. He's over 10 years older than me, which is crazy because he doesn't come off that way. Unless you start texting him, he's a pretty millennial texter. He's lived so much life. Every time I hang out with him, I feel like I'm just learning so much from him, from his mistakes, to be honest. I'm very excited that my girlfriend's in the band. She brings this whole real, vocally there's something special going on. Not many bands you see a really strong vocal performance with harmonies, with 3-part harmonies. It's like pretty extra, but...
Yeah, I think it's just being with a group of people that you can kind of bring out what you love about music into the band and kind of make it one whole thing. So yeah, I love playing keys. I have for a while, and I'm a singer through and through, and it's really cool kind of combining my love for both of them in a way that suits the vibe of the band.
I'm not gonna lie, I gave it a good try, living a good life of decent behaviour and charity barbecues.
There's like an insane amount of talent on the Sunshine Coast, and I feel like I'm gonna forget to say someone and regret it later, but there are just so many people that blow my mind where we live. Frank and Louie, these two young dudes who are just blowing my mind every time I see them, and been songwriting with them. They've been incredible. Chamberlain, my bassist, is in a band called Chamberlain. You've made a documentary for them. Those guys are fucking amazing. Connor, the singer, is an incredible songwriter. Betty Taylor, who are incredible and just doing so well. I probably don't even need to shout them out because people know who they are. Phoebe Rose, this incredible country singer. She opened for our last show. She's like 18 years old. She's insane. She's like an old weary soul, like Emmylou Harris or something in an 18-year-old's body. It's crazy. There's so many other people. The Justice Trio, American dude John Justice. He sings these songs that are like super hard on sleeve, and they just make you, I don't know, feel like you're not alone. Yeah, there's amazing talent everywhere.
Thank you very much. We're Calan Mai. We have shirts. Thank you for tonight.
Hello, what are we doing?
What do you want to say?
Hello, and welcome to the party.
Yeah. How are the lounges in here? You would know.
Lounges? A lounge? I haven't seen any, to be honest. I see a bunch of chairs.
This is not good enough.
I feel like some lounges. Last time I was here, there were more lounges. Let's just say that much. What do you have to say about that, buddy? More
I took the KFC